Good morning everybody. It's Risa from Hudson Valley Vintage. Welcome to Get Your Paint On. It's Friday and it's freezing. That's about all I'm going to say. It is freezing. So good morning. So we're going to continue on the suitcase dresser. Last week we started working on these two drawers. So the top two drawers we worked on last week. So now we're going to work on the next two drawers. So the drawers we're going to work on are painted in modern rattan and guac and roll. So the modern rattan drawer, which is the third one, is going to look like an old leather suitcase or trunk. All right, so as I said, this drawer is going to look like an old suitcase, or like an old leather suitcase or an old trunk. So this is going to look like an old leather trunk that has been really well traveled. So the first thing I'm going to do this morning, I have this really great stencil. This is from Margaritaville Stencils, and I'm going to put this sort of askew, half on the edge, half off, sort of like it was stamped, you know, during travels. So I don't want it to look exactly perfect. I want it to look like, actually I'll do it towards the bottom. That would make more sense. There we go. All right, so let me get my painter's tape. So I have, where's my color? Here it is, Baltic Black. That's what I'm going to use on this. Baltic Black. Okay, so we're going to be stenciling. I have my stencil brush. I always like to use a dense brush. These are really cheap brushes. I get them like wherever I can, usually a craft store like Michael's. This one has broken. Kevin's glued it together. All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit and put it on my plate. Because when we stencil, we hardly use any paint. So I don't have much on my brush, but that's way too much. You could even use a piece of paper, paper towel, whatever you want to use. So, and I don't want this to be very crisp. I want it to be somewhat faded, because this is going to look old, but I am going to be glazing this and doing things to it to make it look like leather anyway. So now I have my stencil taped down, and I'm going to dab my brush, and I am also holding my stencil down even though it's taped, because those are all the things that help you avoid bleed through. Bleed through is when your stencil looks blurry because the paint got between the stencil and your surface. Okay. So that's my travel stencil. I will pick this up so you can see it better. So now this is going to look like an old trunk or suitcase. So I want it to look like it was stamped in our travels. So that's that. So I have these pieces of transfer from Redesign with Prima. So a couple of these look like stamps, but a couple of them look like travel vouchers, kind of like this one. And what else? This one's pretty cool. the map. Let's see if I have any others. I'm probably not going to do more than 2, but I just want to show you anyway. Here's another one that's fun. So the name of this transfer, now I don't know if it's still being made, but it's called the Ephemera collection. We still have a couple of them. They're on our website and in our store. So I'm gonna start cutting a couple of these. So unlike a lot of the transfers, these are like solid. They don't have, like a lot of them are sheer underneath, but that's not the case with these. Again, I'm gonna do it kind of askew because these things are not usually very straight. I think it almost looks funny straight. Now, these stick really well, these Redesign with Prima transfers, so I'm not using any tape. If I was doing a large one, I probably would use tape. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna want your opinion. So the drawer is modern rattan. I want to make it look like leather. Okay, so here's what we've done so far. We've got, on this side, I've got the London stamp. And then on this side, I've got the travel stamp. Okay, so here's the other one. So this one says Paris, which is fun. So I think what I want to do with this one is have it like this going over the other one, kind of like that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm just going to pull this apart. And do it like that, sort of over the other one. Okay. I always recommend that you keep a craft knife with you when you're using transfers, because sometimes it's hard to lift up the plastic, and you don't want to get grooves in your paint with your nails. There we go. All right, I'm actually gonna, oop, I just rubbed off a little edge, but that's actually fine. The other night I was trying this other transfer, and it came with a little white glove to rub the edges. So I'm gonna grab that and see if that works. All right, so I have this little white glove, and since I don't have lotion on my hands today, it works better. And I'm just rubbing the edges to get off like that little halo thing. If you've done a transfer, you know that sometimes you can have like a little halo effect. And this does seem to help. Turn it around. All right, let me turn it around again, and I'm going to show you how I did the stripe. So, it was actually pretty easy. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So, first I'm going to measure the distance from the hole to the top. So I'm gonna do this 2.5 inches. I want them to look different sized. So I'm not gonna do the same exact measurement on the for the drawers. So I'm just putting little lines on here to make sure 2.5. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Okay. So there we go. So now we have the opening. So that's our fake opening. The pole is going to go right here, the handle. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with this one today. So I'm going to put this back in. So this last one I painted in Guac and Roll, which is from Paint Couture's CC Restyle Remix collection. And I picked this one because this one is going to be more of like a retro looking drawer. So this is the pole that I found for the green, and I think that it is like, is that perfect? Doesn't that look so totally like a 60s or 70s suitcase? It's perfect, I know. So I have this transferred to Harlequin, and I was thinking about doing this on this piece. It has like a real retro feel to me. So I'm trying to decide what color to do this in. So I'm gonna take some of this and put it on my plate. It's actually a great color. It's such a nice pink. And hot pink back then, like in the 60s and 70s, was really a big deal. So I think it's kind of appropriate. All right, so I'm only gonna do the middle row. So I'm actually gonna add a little tape. I'm going to add a little tape to this, just to cover where I don't want to stencil. There we go. Okay. Oh, it kind of looks cool. It does have some black in it. Okay. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. So, I did pull a teeny bit of paint off with, because I put so much tape down. But that's okay. I might even leave it since we're going for a vintage suitcase look. Okay, so that's what we did on this drawer. And I actually like that the middle ones are darker and they get lighter. It's sort of like an ombre. Did not intend for that, but it worked out that way, so that's pretty cool. The hardware is going to be all silver, just like the 60s or 70s dresser would be. So let's put this in. All right, so we made progress today. So I still have to age all of these, and they still need the hardware. So next week, what we're going to do with this is we're going to start aging this using metallics and using glazes. So let me just show you the rest. So there's the one that we did today, or I should say started today. I still have to put a line on it. So isn't that fun? Yeah, this is really, I'm enjoying working on this piece, and I'm enjoying that I'm doing it all with you guys. So what we'll do when this is all done is we'll post the whole thing on our YouTube channel, and you can go back and watch it. Okay, well, guys, have a great weekend. I hope that it warms up by you. It's like in the 30s here, which is insane, April 16th. And please go ahead and share this on your page. And if you have any questions, just post them in the comments and I will always get back to you. So thank you so much. You know we appreciate you spending any time with us. It's always a pleasure. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.